Today we are going to continue with the part 3 of your chapter number 1, properties of the fluids. Today we are going to solve the numerical problems regarding all of the properties we have studied in part 2 of your chapter number 1. So starting with the problem number 1, we have the statement first of all. Calculate the specific weight, density and specific gravity of 1 liter of a liquid which weighs 7 Newton. So what are various input data is given? That is only one, that is the weight of the fluid 7 newtons. So volume of the fluid or the liquid is also given, that is 1 liter in the statement you can see. So if your input, first of all just write the input data after starting the solution. So your input data is the volume, first of all 1 liters. Your 1 liter will be equal to your 1 liter is equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 meter cubes. And further in CGS system, if you want to convert it, then it will be 1000 centimeter cube mean. So in this way you need to just convert your liters into centimeter cubes, okay, from meter cubes to centimeter cubes. So it will be 1000 centimeter cubes. Then you have specific weight, W, small w. The formula for the specific weight is weight per unit volume. You have 7 newtons weight and 10 raised to power minus 3 in meter cube, that is the unit. So you need to be also very careful with the consistent units. Wherever you are going to be use the formula to solve the numerical problems, within that particular formula you need to input in numerator and denominator for each parameters the units must be consistent. If you are going to solve it in one system like SI system, in newtons, in meters, in seconds, then you need to be very particular about the each and every unit of each and every parameter. So if weight is needed to be input, that must be 7 newtons, and if volume is needed to be input, that must be 10 raised to power minus 3, because your Newton is in SI system and with SI system meter is consistent. Okay, so 7 over 10 raised to power minus 3 and you are getting 7000 Newton per meter cube. Okay, so it is okay to input your values likewise like in SI system. Then you have density, rho, that is the W over G. Okay, so 7000 divided by 9.81, 7000 is the W, that specific weight you have calculated, and you can divide it with G, gravitational acceleration. And how we are getting this formula we have studied in theoretical part. So 713.5 kg per meter cube. Specific gravity is needed to be divided the density of any fluid that is under observation to the standard fluid, and here we are going to be consider the standard fluid as water, I have told you. Okay, so for the water the gravity is the value is 1000 kg per meter cube, so you are getting a 0.7135 without the units, because it is a ratio of the density of the fluid divided by the density of the standard fluid we are considering here as water. So no units at all. So in this way you are going to be enlist the answers. Okay, first of all specific weight is equal to 7000 Newton per meter cube, then density, that is 713.5 kg per meter cube, then specific gravity 0.7135. So you must be very clear with the list of the input data while solving the numerical problems, and then once you are going to start the solutions, then number 1, number 2 and number 3 जो आपने input data में input किया होगा, whatever you have inputting in the input data, like number 1 which is needed to be calculate with a question mark, like specific weight, density and specific gravity, with the same order like number 1, number 2 and number 3, these physical properties with the numberings you need to write the answers in the solutions. Okay, and you need to enlist the answers with the specific units, and you need to enlist the input data with the specific. Now we go to the problem number 2. Okay, so in other way how to just solve the problems with the physical properties, you need to calculate the density, specific weight and weight of 1 liter of the petrol having specific gravity of 0.7. Here the reverse case be there. You are given with the specific gravity, weight is not given, volume is there, that is 1 liters. Okay, So for the 1 liter of the liquid, what you need to do, you need to mean petrol. Here the name of the fluid is also given, that is petrol. So for the petrol, what you need to do for the specific volume 1 liter, you need to now determine the weight. Weight is not given, but on the other side, what is given as an input data? Your specific gravity. Okay, so for this liquid, the specific gravity is given now. So how to do it in reverse? So volume is same, 1 liter, 10 is to power minus 3 meter cube and 1000 centimeter cube. Specific gravity is 0.7. Now if the specific gravity ratio is given, then the weight or the density of a particular fluid can be determined by multiplying it with the density of the standard fluid we are considering for the water. Okay, water is the standard fluid. So if the density is needed to be determined for your own fluid, so what you can do, you can multiply it with the specific gravity. Okay, that is 0.7 given in the problem statement. So S into rho into water, density of the water. 0.7 is given, and 1000, we know that the density of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube, and you are getting 700 kg per meter cube density of your own fluid. Then we want to calculate the second thing in the statement given, specific weight. For the specific weight, if rho is with you can multiply it with g. Okay, gravitational acceleration constant, and it will give you 6867 Newton per meter cube. Finally, the weight. Okay, so how to get the weight? Weight is, what is the formula of the specific weight? That is the weight of the fluid divided by per unit volume. Okay, so if the weight is needed to be calculated, then you need to just have your specific weight multiplied with the volume. So you are getting 6867 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Okay, so volume is 10 raised to power minus 3, and 6867 is the specific weight you have calculated earlier. This you can say, and it is equal to 6.867 Newton. While calculating or determining the different physical properties, likewise, like 1, 2 and 3 and many properties are needed to be calculated, you need to be very careful regarding the sequence of calculating. Okay, let's suppose if you want to calculate the weight first, then it will be difficult, because you need to first of all determine the specific weight of the fluid. So to determine the specific weight, you need the density. Okay, so it will take some time for you guys just to be practice with that. Okay, that which property needed to be calculated at first. Okay, so it is ended over here. Now in the next slide, you can see the statement first of all. If the velocity distribution over a plate is given by u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square, in which u is the velocity in meter per second at a distance y meter above the plate, determine the shear stress at y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0.15 meters. Take dynamic viscosity of the fluid as 8.63 poise. So what is given and what is needed to be determined? Here first of all, velocity profile is given. Velocity profile mean that if you have one plate like this, and the water is flowing over the plate in layers, like this. Okay, so if this is the plate that is beneath, and above the plate certain liquid or the fluid is flowing in a certain direction. So let's suppose direction is this one, with the under the action of certain force. So if this is the particular case, so velocity distribution over a plate is given by, the velocity gradient is given over here. So if this is the velocity profile, you can say that it is 0, and then 1 by 1 it is going to be maximum at the end. So if this is going to be represented as a velocity profile, this is the profile. Okay, so this profile is going to give you the relationship with respect to the y distance. This is the y distance. Okay, here on the vertical axis, this is y. Okay, so if the y distance is there, between the layers, mean total distance is there. With respect to increase in the y, you are going to be having a different variation with respect for the u. Okay, so in this way you are going to be having on this, you can say related to this is the horizontal axis. So along this axis, the variation of the velocity u is going to be measured, and along the vertical axis, the variation with respect with the distance between the layers, mean from the plate of the fluid. So this is going to be considered. So if y is going to be considered along y-axis and velocity along the x-axis, then with respect to change in the y distance starting from the boundary of the plate, okay, what is the velocity variation? What is the velocity profile? So the equation of this line, this curve, that is going to show you the velocity gradient or the velocity profile of the fluid flowing in a certain direction. You can represent like this: 2 by 3 y minus y square. If it will be only 2 by 3 y, mean it is a linear relationship, just a straight line you are getting. But with additional this y square, the degree of this line, equation of the line, is now second degree. For the second degree line, it will not going to give you the, you can say, the straight relationship. It will be exponential form, mean in a curve form you are getting the velocity profile. So this velocity profile is not a straight line, it is a curved one with the second degree of the line and giving you a constant parameter 2 by 3 y minus y square. Okay, so this is going to give you the relationship of the velocity with respect to the y distance. Okay, so first of all, you need to be clear within the problem statement. The first point, that what this equation is and what is it is representing. Now the second thing is, u is the velocity in meter per second at a distance y meter above the plate, and we have discussed over here, okay, in this figure. Now you need to determine the shear stress at y is equal to 0. Where is the boundary? Okay, just at the boundary of the fluid to this plate, this solid plate. Here y is equal to 0. You need to determine the velocity of the fluid over here, and at y is equal to 0.15 meter, mean anywhere here, here or here, depending upon the total distance. We are not known with the total distance of this y, so anywhere in between it will be y is equal to 0.15. So numerically, if the equation of the velocity, mean velocity profile, is with you, then what you can do, you can input the value and you can get the velocity. Okay, so left hand side is the velocity and right hand side is the y. So your velocity is dependent on this y distance. So if y distance is known to you, you can input in this equation and you can calculate the velocity. Take the dynamic viscosity of the fluid as 8.63 twice. Okay, so viscosity is also given, because alternatively your shear stresses are, if viscosity is there, so your velocity gradient is going to have again further relationship with the shear stresses, having a proportionality constant of the dynamic viscosity, that is mu. So here in CGS system, 8.63 is given. So okay, that's what I am telling you again and again, that while calculating the numerical problems, you must be very careful with the interconversion of the units. So here 8.63 twice mean CGS system. Okay, 9 second per centimeter square. So but rest of the values are in SI system. So look and we see now during this solution of this numerical problem how we are going to tackle this. So given u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square, this velocity gradient or the velocity profile is given to us. Now in our viscosity equation, we are interested in the differential relationship. Okay, so if you are going to differentiate your equation with respect to y, so this du over dy will be equal to 2 by 3 minus 2y. Okay, so this differential you can say, or you can say the dependent value is very important. So if du over dy is with you, rate of change of velocity with respect to y, okay, so that will be equal to at y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1.5. So two, you can say, unknowns you can determine, that was needed to determine in the problem statement. The first part of it, that you need to determine the shear stress. So before determining the shear stress at any y distance, you must know the velocity gradient at a particular y distance. So the velocity gradient du over dy will be equal to 0.667 at y is equal to 0. Then this velocity gradient at y is equal to 0.15, it will be equal to, in the same equation you are going to input your values, it will be 0.367. Okay, so you are inputting your y equal to 0.15. In this equation, 2 by 3 minus 2y. So here the y is going to be replaced with the respective values of the y at which it is needed to be determine the velocity gradient. So y is equal to 0 will give you this answer, and y is equal to 1.15 will give you that answer. So keep these two answers or the velocity gradients with you. Now come to the viscosity. Your viscosity is in terms of Poise, unit is 8.63, and the relationship from the CGS system to SI system is this 10 factor. Okay, so if it is needed to convert from SI to CGS, then you are multiplying it with the 10. If from the CGS to SI system, you are dividing it with the 10. So this 10 is the you can say related value or constant. So you are dividing it with the 10 and you are getting 0.863 Newton second per meter. Okay, meter square, because all of your values are in SI system. So keep it consistent. Now shear stress is given by equation 1.2. In the last slide, theoretical part, we have discussed very clearly and in detail that how the shear stress can be determined. Your shear stress is equal to the, or you can say directly proportional to the velocity gradient. Okay, so rate of change of velocity with respect to y distance. So du, or the change in the velocity with respect to y distance between the layers, differential distance between the layers. So it is going to give you a proportionality constant, that is dynamic viscosity. So τ is equal to mu du over dy, that you remember all the time, that equation. So if the τ is needed to be determined, mu is with you, du over dy at a particular y distances we have determined earlier. Now input your values in this equation. τ naught mean τ at y is equal to 0, mu du over dy. So our mu in SI system is 0.863. Multiplying it with the du over dy, rate of change of velocity with respect to y distance velocity gradient, or rate of change of strain also. आप इसको rate of change of strain भी कह सकते हैं, but here the in terms of velocity we are saying it. So 0.667. So you are getting 0.5756 Newton per meter square. And for the second part, at y is equal to 0.15, you are inputting your values and it will be going to give you 0.3167 Newton per meter square. Okay, so in this way you are calculating and your answer is in bold, it is given over here. So finally you need to report your answers. Okay, 0.5756 Newton per meter square at y is equal to 0 shear stress value in pascals, Newton per meter square. Okay, not in, yes, pascals. So in other terms, your stress is in pascals. Now, if you have understood the problem number 3, okay, so it's how the boundary, just your fluid is moving over a plate of the solid boundary and how the intermediate flow is going to be acting on it. So now it will be more easy to understand this problem number 4. Come to its statement. A plate 0.025 millimeter distance from a fixed plate, mean one plate is fixed and the one plate above is moving, moves at 60 centimeter per second. Its velocity is also given, that is 60 centimeter per second, and requires a force of 2 newtons per meter square to maintain this speed. Mean to maintain this speed at an equal gradient, or you need to be, mean rate of change of strain is constant, then you need to put the speed of, or mean force you need to apply on this upper plate equal to 2 Newton per meter square. Determine the fluid viscosity between the plates. If certain fluid is flowing between two plates, then you need to determine the fluid viscosity. Okay, absolute viscosity, dynamic viscosity, in both of the terms you can say. Okay, so why we are, first of all, let's suppose if it is not given in the statement. This is a very important point. If it is not given in the statement, that which kind of viscosity is needed to be measured. Okay, dynamic or the kinematic. So if only viscosity is there, or dynamic and absolute word is there, so it's obvious that you need to determine mu. But if it is not mentioned over there, then you need to go to the statement. If the statement is like that, or the situation is like that for the system of the fluid for which you are analyzing it, for that if is such that the rate of change of strain throughout the time of or throughout, you can say, for this system is constant, it's not changing permanently. Okay, then you can say that it is a dynamic viscosity. because for the dynamic viscosity it is not going to be changed. Okay, it is maintained. You can see in the statement that your fixed plate having a velocity of 60 centimeter per second, this 60 centimeter per second velocity keep on same throughout the system by applying the force equal to 2 Newton per meter square, mean the resistance equal to 2 Newton per meter square. So if this resistance is going to be provided, mean this force is going to be applied on the upper plate that is moving, so it should be constant. So if the constant velocity gradient you are observing, it is obviously be the dynamic viscosity. If this gradient is going to be changed, then you can say it's a dynamic viscosity. Okay, so distance between the plates dy. Okay, first of all, again I am going to explain the system of this fluid for which we need to analyze it. We have a fixed plate at the bottom and we have a moving plate at the top. In between these two plates, certain fluid is flowing. Okay, what is given to us? The dy, first of all, input data. Distance between these two plates, y distance, that is 0.025 millimeters. What is the second input data? That is the applied force. Okay, that force is applied in terms of stress, 2 Newton per meter square. Third input data is the velocity of the fluid, that is 60 centimeter per second. Okay, so again your force is in Newton per meter square, your velocity in centimeter per second, your distance in millimeter. So while the calculation or by solving this problem, you need to be careful with the consistent units. So start with the solution given. Distance between the plates dy 0.025 millimeters, converted in meters 0.025 into 10 raised to power minus 3 meters. Velocity of the upper plate, that is 60 centimeter per second, u, 0.6 meter per second. Force on the upper plate, that will be equal to 2 Newton per meter square. Force in terms of resistance, shear stress. Okay. Now if the force is given, then this is the value of the shear stress actually. Okay, I have told you. Let the fluid viscosity between the plate is mu, that is needed to be determined, our required parameter to be determined after this input data. So you can use again the equation of the tau, the shear resistance, that is equal to mu du over dy. Now for this equation, what is the you can say needed to be determined? We have the velocity, that is u. The change of the velocity with respect to y distance is not given. Okay, so this gradient is needed to be determined. Rate of change is very important. So for this rate of change of the velocity, you need du, not the u. For the du, you have the initial and final velocity, of course. So the initial velocity mean for the one plate between two layers, we have these two layers. Okay, so one is at the fixed plate and one is below the above the fixed plate, and one layer is below the upper plate. Okay, so we are interested to determine the viscosity of the fluid in between. So which layers we should consider, or we must consider? The one layer that is just above the fixed plate and one layer just below the moving plate at the top. Okay, so in between we have this dy, the distance between these two layers. The rate of change of velocity is needed to be determined, or the velocity gradient is needed to be determined between these two layers. Okay, so we have u minus 0. Why? Because the bottom plate is fixed, its velocity is 0. Top plate is moving, its velocity is 0.6 meter per second. So the velocity gradient, change of velocity will be same, 0.60 meter per second. Now change of the distance, no. Okay, just dy directly given to you. Dono layers, between two layers, the distance is given. That will be 0.025 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Now tau is needed to be determined, or it is given, that is 2 Newton per meter square. So now in the equation of the viscosity, you can input in the equation of the shear stress, you can input the values, and the unknown will be only one, that will be your viscosity. So you are going to be determine your viscosity in consistent unit SI, because whole of the parameters already you have converted into SI system. So it will be Newton second per meter square. So I have told you last time in the last slide for the last numerical problems that what is this interconveyor from the CGS to SI system, that factor is 10. Okay, so whatever the value you are getting in SI system, just multiply it with the 10 to convert into CGS system. Okay, you are getting twice. So 8.33 into 10 raised to power minus 4, twice final answer you are getting in CGS system. Okay, so you need to report your value in terms of twice. Now problem number 5. Again, if you have an understanding of first four problem, then this fifth problem will be more easier to understand. A flat plate of area 1.5 into 10 raised to power 6 millimeter square is pulled with speed of 0.4 meter per second relative to another plate located at a distance of 0.15 millimeter from it. Find the force and power required to maintain this speed if the fluid separating them is having a viscosity of 1 twice. Okay, so now if it is needed to just draw it schematically. So you have a flat plate first of all. Okay, similarly like your last problem, a flat plate of area 1.5 into 10 raised to power 6. So it's mean the cross sectional area is given. Okay, is pulled with the speed of 0.4 meter per second relative to another plate located at a distance of 0.15 millimeter from it. Okay, so two plates are there, one plate above and one plate at the bottom. So it is not mentioned which plate is at the top and which plate is at the bottom. So if we are going to be consider the bottom plate as fixed and of course the top plate is moving. Okay, so it's saying you the distance between these two plates, this distance between these two plates, again the dy, it is given, that is 0.15 meters. Millimeters, sorry. Okay, so 0.15 millimeters, this is the distance, or again in the layer form you can say these are the layers of the fluids flowing within. And what is input data for this fluid? Okay, that is the viscosity. This viscosity is given, that is 1 twice. Okay, so one plate with a certain cross sectional area is movable. Okay, it can move with a velocity. Okay, again u is given, that is 0.4 meter per second. Meter per second. Okay, relative to another plate located at a distance of 0.15 millimeters. Okay, so what does it means? That your one plate is not moving, only one plate is moving relative to other. So relative mean this change of velocity is directly given to you. If relative word is going to be used for the two plates, so what does it means? That you do not need to determine the change in velocity, it is already given to you. Okay, so this relative velocity mean the change in velocity between these two plates are already given. Okay, that is in terms of du, the relative velocity. So relative to each other if the movement be there, so this change in the velocity between these two is already been calculated and it's directly given to you as du 0.4 meter per second. Okay, so it is not you can say du, it is relative. So relative velocity mean du. If only the velocity of one plate will be given to you and it is said to you that other plate is fixed, so it's obviously that the fixed plate will having a zero velocity and the other plate has a certain. So this change in velocity you can determine du. But if your velocity is given in terms of relative velocity, mean this difference of the velocity has been already calculated, is already given you as an input data, that is du. If the velocity of two plates are given to you in numerical problems separately, that one plate is moving with a certain velocity and the upper plate is moving with another velocity, if two different velocity values are given to you, then this du you need to calculate, this change in velocity you need to calculate by subtracting the velocities of the both plates. Okay, so in this particular problem, relative mean directly du is given. Find the force and power required to maintain this speed if the fluid is separating them is having the viscosity of 1 twice. So it's mean that you need to determine the power, force and power. Okay, so how to do that? We have the cross section area. So what is the benefit of having this cross section area? If the cross section area will be with you, okay, and the shear stress you will be able to calculate by the equation of the shear stress, then you can calculate the force, because we are required over here to calculate the force. Okay, so now with this equation, tau is equal to mu du over dy, your input data is the viscosity and the velocity gradient. Now on the left hand side, tau is unknown. Okay, so this shear stress, first of all, you need to determine by your equation of viscosity, dynamic viscosity, and then from the shear stress you can calculate the force if area is known to you. This is the, you can say, criteria, or you can say a step by step solution that should become in your mind while you are just going through the statement. So the given things on the input data is area of the plate 1.5 into 10 raised to power 6 millimeter square. So convert it first of all in SI system, 1.5 meter square. Speed of the plate relative to another plate. Okay, that is very important. Relative to another plate. That is directly going to give you du 0.4 meter per second. Distance between the plates dy is equal to 0.15 millimeters. Again converted in meters. That is going to give you 0.15 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Viscosity is equal to 1 twice. So we are not dealing with the CGS system. Again converted into Newton second per meter square by dividing with the 10, this vector. Okay, so alternatively. So if you are coming from CGS to System International, SI system, then you need to be divided with 10. So here you are dividing it with 10. So it will be 1.1 by 10, mean 0.1 Newton second per meter square. Now you have equation of viscosity, mean shear stress, tau is equal to mu du over dy, velocity gradient. So this velocity gradient is with you, 0.4, dy is already with you, input data, mu is your input data. So all of your input data are going to be input over here, and you are getting 266.66 Newton per meter square shear stress, okay, in pascals. Now if the shear stress is with you, then coming to the required parameter, that is to determine the force in the statement first of all. So if you want to determine the force, mean shear force, for that you need a cross sectional area, because your tau is equal to F over A. Okay, so if cross section area is known to you, that is all again a given data, 1.5 meter square you are inputting, and you are getting the force in newtons. If force is with you, then I think you can calculate the power, mean work done, very easily. So power required to move the plate at the speed of 0.4 meter per second. So it will be F into U. So work done by this particular system. So total work done can be calculated by multiplying your force with the distance, mean speed at which it is working, it is workable. So 400 into 0.4, 160 watt. So in this way you are getting in a unit. Okay, you can say, or you may have an answer question over here, that why we are having a formula of the work done respective to the power का कुछ और formula होता है, another formula, but you are putting over here work done because the unit dimensions you are considering in the other way. Okay, so only for the unit dimensions you are working. So in 2D your power will be equal to work. So let's check. In dynamic viscosity, sorry, in one direction. Not kinematic. So 160 watt you are getting. It is dynamic viscosity. For this. So for the dynamic viscosity, you need to be only calculate mu. Now problem number 7. Here kinematic viscosity is needed to be determined. The space between two square flat parallel plates is filled with an oil. Each side of the plate is 60 centimeter. The thickness of the oil film is 12.5 millimeter. The upper plate, which moves at 2.5 meter per square, requires a force of 98.1 Newton to maintain the speed. Now to determine you need to determine the dynamic viscosity, and you need to determine the kinematic viscosity. Okay, so if specific gravity of the oil is 0.95. So I think you can now solve it for the dynamic viscosity very easily. So whatever the input data is needed to be applied over here, it is given. That is same as we have calculated in the previous example. Okay, so again, if you want to draw the system, okay, that will be very easier for you. That first, if you are going to be draw the system, you have one plate at the bottom, again the same system, and the second plate at the top. Okay, so you have this is going to be filled with an oil. Okay, so any fluid, that is oil. Each side of the plate is 60 centimeter. Each side mean in the third direction. Okay, so 60 centimeter this side and 60 centimeter this side. Square plate is there. Okay, so this is 60 and this is also 60 both. Okay, so if 60 by 60 plate is given, so in that same dimension is for the bottom plate. The thickness of the oil film is 12.5. Okay, so this distance y is, that is going to be called as dy also, change in the distance, that is equal to 12.5 millimeters. Okay, so the upper plate which moves at 2.5 meter per second, so this is needed to be moved in either direction. Okay, at that time we are not familiar with that, so that will be u. So 2.5 meter per second. It requires a force of 98.1 newtons. Okay, so here only the force is given, not in terms of stresses. You need to calculate the shear stresses by yourself. So force 98.1. Shear stresses are needed to be calculated. Okay, so this is the system of for this particular problem. So now the first step is to calculate the dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity. So you have the each side of the square plate 60. Okay, so these numerical problems you need to understand it and the velocity of the recorded lectures, and then in the online session we will discuss those. Then comes the causes of the viscosity in the fluid. The last slide for this part 3 of our lecture. Viscosity in gases. How to calculate the viscosity or determine the viscosity, or either this concept of the viscosity of the gases is going to be exist within or not. The molecules of the gases are only weakly kept in position by molecular cohesion as they are so far apart. The concept of the layers, as we have considered for the fluids, okay, that is more closer to the practical you can say situation for the fluids flowing, but for the gases we cannot do that. It's very illogical to consider the gases to be flowing in the layers, because their molecules are very far apart and they are not going to give you a case or you can say a condition or situation where they are flowing in layers. So as adjacent layers move by each other, there is a continuous exchange of the molecules, and you are well familiar with this phenomena. Okay, within the gases, if you are going to be, even if you are going to be consider the flow of the gas in terms of layers, in the form of layers, then each layer that is coinciding or adjacent with each other, in which and these two layers the molecules are keep on exchanging with each other. Okay, so you cannot mark a boundary for the layer in which no exchange of the molecules exist. Molecules of a slower layer move to the faster layers. Okay, they are moving continuously, and once they are getting their velocity much more greater, okay, enough to just break the bond of that particular layer, so they can just join the layer, or you can say the layers with the higher velocities, or they can join over there and they can release the energy at that time, so causing a drag. Molecules of the slower layer move to the faster layer, causing a drag, and while molecules moving the other way exert an acceleration force. Mathematical consideration of this momentum exchange can lead to Newton's law of viscosity. If temperature of the gas increases, the momentum exchange between layers will increase, thus increasing the viscosity. So viscosity will also change with the pressure, but under normal conditions this change is negligible in gases. Okay, so for the gases, the major you can say parameter that is going to affect the viscosity, that will be the temperature. If temperature is going to be changed, is going to increase the velocity of the molecules itself at the local level, and this is going to increase the energy within the molecules, and those will be enough to break the bond of the particular layer and to join and just be a part of the layer with having the velocity equal to that velocity of the molecule that is leaving the one layer and joining another one. So this exchange of the molecules from the slower, or mean to say with the lesser energy layer to the higher energy layers, these are being a continuous part of it. So this momentum change that is going to be your exchange can be utilized, and can be you can use in the numerical calculations for the Newton's law of viscosity. So be a part of it. So irrespective of the gradient law or the velocity gradient, we must be having the momentum exchange, okay, or rate of change of momentum of the molecules with respect to the velocity gradient. So this will be very important. This mass exchange between the layers is the main factor to determine the viscosity of the gases particularly. So if it is required from you guys, or it will be asked to you that what is the difference between the viscosity rule and idea and the liquid viscosity idea. So if you are going to be have a dependent parameter, so that dependent parameter will be the momentum exchange for the gases, and for the liquids it will be the, you can say, the velocity gradient, okay, between the values, so mass gradient and the velocity gradient. So finally, technically, you can say that the mass gradient is the important factor that depends on the viscosity, or that can be change the viscosity of the gases, or affect the viscosity of the gases, and the velocity gradient is going to be affect the viscosity of the liquids or the fluids. So here we are going to be ending our lecture, theory lecture, with part 3. Thank you so much, guys.